And the
This
winner?
year, the Game Award goes
And
to
the winner?
Forza Motorsport.
Remember the Racing Game of the Year 2023? This is it now. There's nothing in my hand. Yes, we are here once again, straight to the point. 5 months ago, we spoke about this already. However, it is now officially official from Microsoft, Xbox, and you should be pissed off. Whether you love the game, you hate the game, you're in the middle, whoever you are, you should be frustrated. And I'm going to let you know why. Look, in this capitalist system that we exist in, and before you comment, don't get political, your day-to-day life is justified by the people in control, whether that be via money or politics. Both of these groups of people control your day-to-day life, and therefore, this is why it's happened. So no, I will get political today. I'm going to remove all barriers of, oh, be careful when you talk. I don't give a crap. These people, this team, this talent, this industry is destroying all of these people's sense of like place there. This is completely ignoring the fact that, you know, music, movies, TV, all those industries combined make less money than games. How the f can we not have a team, even if their game is only played on Game Pass a few times? This team literally made the engine that's going to be powering Forza Horizon 6. You can't tell me that there is no advantage of keeping the team around that made the engine. There's multiple issues at play here, and we're going to talk about all of them. But for a start, in the system that we exist in, we need competition. Without competition, complacency arrives in mass. And what we have is a massive, massive game, and no one else can touch it. And oh, a whole bunch of studios start closing, and every smaller game, everyone goes, well, it's not as good as this big game, therefore, and we get problems. A game at the top of its game with nothing else touching it is bad. That's what really annoyed me about a lot of the comments on the video that we made recently talking about the new Lighthouse Games game. Yes, this is going to be created literally by the co-founder of Playground Games themselves, and the amount of like fanboyism, the amount of idiocy saying that, oh, I've heard all this before. You need some hope in your life. And the fact that you don't have any is really crazy. You just kind of accept that this is going to be the reality. We will have literally nothing, and the few will have everything. It actually boggles my mind. Let's look at the statement, shall we? As our team shifts its focus towards delivering the best possible experience with Forza Horizon 6 in 2026, we do not plan to introduce any new cars, tracks, features, or regular bug fixes for Forza Motorsport. However, we will continue supporting the game by keeping the online servers active, hosting special events and competitions, and reintroducing previously released featured tours and reward cars on a monthly basis until all content is available. So the FOMO stuff is now going to just be permanently in the game once it's in the game once more, which is really dumb. No, it's good. It's good, but it's dumb that it took this long. We hope you continue racing us on Forza Motorsport in 2026. See you on the track. This is like a weird false hope comment, and I'm going to shoot it down straight away. This game is done. Like, I can sit here and pinpoint all the problems with the game, but we've been doing that since before the game came out, whether it be the marketing, whether it be the direction of the game, whether it be the game pacification of games from Microsoft in general. Listen, let's jump in because we've got a lot to really discuss here. And if the system in place is the system that remains, oh, don't get political, we got to talk about it because it's affecting everything in your life. And you need to accept and realize that this is the case. We spoke about the Game Pass approach before as being a little bit confusing of the system for the sake of games. And that is, once again, something that I will have to mention. But I'm going to do it as lightly as possible because we have discussed this before. But think about the fact, if you've got a pot of money, so you are paying me £20 a month, everyone watching this video at home on their laptops and their phones, this pot just piles up and up and up. And I'm like, right, I want to put this money where I am receiving the most interest. Forza Horizon, I don't really know what else Microsoft, like, big IP this is, but Forza Horizon is decimating, and so they're going, no motorsport, that game's kind of ass, which, you know, fair enough. Let us move all that money to Forza Horizon instead. And hell, to be honest, Forza Horizon is probably not getting much more money. It's just a cut. It's just to save money. Again, biggest entertainment industry combined, all the other entertainment, big money. And these are some of the most thrown away, ripped off, replaced people in the world. It makes no sense to me whatsoever how revolving door. Okay, yeah, let's link straight to that. Game Pass, the focus the grind, it didn't work. It didn't work. No one was interested. People didn't want to do it. You've already given them access to basically everything by the Horizonification of Forza Motorsport previously. You could jump in the game, you get wheel spin, everything. It's like Horizon. Yeah. And then you move into the next game and it's completely different. People are going to be confused and conflicted and angry. It's annoying. So Horizon, I'm a little bit scared. We're going to have to see what that's going to be like, because they're going to be doing some of the tactics from Motorsport in this game because they need you to play for longer. Speaking about playing for longer and not, going through people very quickly, revolving door. This is something that we spoke about previously as well, but is a big problem as to why Forza Motorsport was so messy at launch. And these are the people like in charge of the engine, or not, they're not, but to hear me out. Microsoft to avoid paying benefits. So in America, for example, if you break your leg, you might be left for dead, unless you've got insurance from the company that you work for, and it is up to them what level of insurance they give. Anyway, I don't want to give any insurance because that costs so much money as a company. I don't want to spend money on looking after the well-being of my people. So what I'll actually do is keep replacing them every however long so they don't actually count as employees. This is again controlled by governments, and the governments are lobbied by the very industries that take advantage of these systems. If we can just keep replacing people, we don't pay benefits, we don't pay for meals, we don't pay for medical fees and blah, blah, blah. You get to the point where every 6 months, 8 months, a year, someone is replaced. Not only does it waste time in having to reteach that new person, the people that are getting sacked, having to teach the people that are replacing them, and you cannot do anything about it because you're not an employee. You're not allowed to speak up. You're on a contract. We'll just break your contract if you say anything. We are independent companies working together. You are not an employee. You get no rights. Sounds like a lot of things going on in the world right now. You want rights? No. You deserve nothing, apparently. Oh, don't get political, Theo. What do you think your day-to-day life is controlled by? You answered, there's two answers. The government, okay, there is an N in there, so that's why I pronounced it, and the people that fund the government. Anyway, to reduce costs, revolving door, no one knows what the hell they're doing, and you get a messy launch. Wow, surprise, surprise. This is the engine being used in Forza Horizon 6 again, by the way, so we gotta be a little bit careful here. Okay, moving on. The new engine switch in itself was a big task. It's something that basically, that's why it took so long, along with the revolving door and the idea that the Game Pass structure needs to be. But the new engine really just create the whole ground up thing. I don't care what your perspective on it is, whether you think they built the game from the ground up or not and then added a load of old carbon. We know they're lying. But what we do know is they spent a lot of time on the engine, and that is where most of the work went. And doing that while building also the new game around it, you're going to run into things where, for example, clearly what seems to have been the case is all the features that were built for previous Forza Motorsports were completely scrapped, and they literally built the new modes and everything from the beginning again, to where there was no actual drift mode. There was many missing features, and anyone that was like playing the game, even for like a you couldn't look at your like previous times. There were so many issues with the game, so many things that were missed that clearly someone would have had the idea to do, but they were probably revolved out of the company and replaced to save some money. And moving on to the next kind of final, and not say final, there's probably many more to go through, but the less content. There was basically less content than there has ever been in a Forza Motorsport, and I played Forza Motorsport 5, and that was shocking, going from Forza Motorsport 4 to 5 when they jumped to a new engine. You were like, damn, okay, maybe they'll get there. But even that had more to it than the new Forza Motorsport game. And it was more enjoyable to play, and it felt like more polished. I don't know how else to explain to you. The most expensive Forza Motorsport to have ever existed had the least amount of content to have ever existed in a Forza Motorsport game. That logic alone. Now, if you're like me, I subscribe to Netflix, for example, only when I want to watch a show. You instantly are going to make Microsoft lose a little bit of money by comparison to someone that subscribes and leaves it. I am a person that buys the games, and the subscription model really only works, the Game Pass model only works if you subscribe and set and forget. But the thing is, Game Pass is now like £20 a month for the ultimate version, which is absolutely insane. Netflix is like £5. And I know that's a large difference between the two, but games, again, very much more expensive to make, so I kind of get it. But at the same rate, I can never forget about £20 a month leaving my bank account. I don't care how much money you have, £20 a month, for especially a service that isn't pulling me in constantly because I end up just buying games as well. It's gonna make me think, is my money worth here? They've hit the ceiling, and this is the thing. They're not able to sell any more Game Pass copies. It is tied to the Xbox ecosystem, and that's why now they're selling on PlayStation and why they're selling on Nintendo Switch. They're trying to broaden the possible market because they've hit the ceiling within their own walled garden. And PC players prefer Steam. Like, this just, yeah. We know Microsoft in general is kind of pushing, and the whole industry right now, the whole tech industry is in such a odd, strange spot. Whether you're talking about AI, whether you're talking about games, whether you're talking about, I don't know, I almost want to say TV is like the only thing that's coming out. Music industry, down the toilet, everything is going to get worse. And it just seems to be like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And the only way to really actually see change and actually stand up for these people, okay, the people behind these games that actually give a damn, they have passion behind what they're trying to craft. And that's what I love about games. I don't care specifically about anyone at the top. I care about people being able to make art and sell it so that other people can enjoy it. And if it was up to them, they would have as many people as possible enjoy their art. What I give a damn about is the people. If the people put the time and effort in to craft something, they go out of their way, instead of doing some server admin job, instead of, you know, the big money, because the sad reality is if you take your skill set of like programming, for example, elsewhere, you're worth more. You're going to get more money. So a lot of people are choosing to be in this industry because they want to create something. They want to be part of something. And then it's just ripped from them. This keeps happening. And this is exactly what's happening with Criterion. Exactly what's happening with EA being bought by the Saudis. It's Microsoft buying Activision. It's PlayStation buying Bungie. The consolidation of the industry. The whole point of what the few are after is control and money. And they've got the money. So they're going to go after something else too. Don't get political, Theo, do you? It is political. You can't avoid it. You need to be the change. You need to think consciously about where you're putting your money, where you're deciding, what you're standing up for, what you're standing behind, what you're standing for. You need to think about these things consciously. And I'm not saying you have to boycott this brand, boycott this brand. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But what you need to do is make a more conscious effort to realize you are going to lose if these people win. That's the aim. In the AI sphere, I don't know if you've seen it, RAM's more expensive. GPUs, basically, they're cutting productions, get more expensive. Storage, more expensive. And whether you think this AI thing is a bubble or not, it's not going to mean cheaper stuff for you. That stuff is going to be used. It's going to flood the used market. You're going to buy it used. That's not going to, it doesn't matter. What's going to happen is they're going to try and reevaluate where this use of power, this GPU, this RAM, this storage can be used. And you might be surprised to think about the fact that Microsoft is pushing all this crap into Windows. Nvidia is jumping out of the gaming market, essentially. And all of this is to get behind remote compute. Whether you're talking about AI or not, Microsoft makes all of their money. You don't matter to them. Microsoft makes all of their money in the data center as it currently stands. So even if AI completely fell through, use it for the data center. You own a computer right now? I'm going to remote in. You're going to buy a like £10 box and a subscription and remote in. All right, we're going a bit far with this. But you get the point. This is a trending topic. This is a common occurrence within the industry. And for anyone that's celebrating this, anyone that's shooting down future projects that ultimately can diversify the market from small projects to big projects. Stop shitting on everything. Give things a chance. Stop just following. Oh, Forza Horizon's big, so I'm just going to follow Forza Horizon. Because you might be surprised to find one day that no matter how big Forza Horizon currently is for Xbox, there's a chance Forza Horizon could go the same way as well. Especially with this new model where they get less cash, right? They get less cash. If people get fed up with subscriptions, they're going to have to modify the model. And Microsoft's clearly given up on Xbox. That is very, very much obvious here. They're giving them little tiny seed funds because ultimately what they really want to do is tie you in to remote compute. And that's... All right, I'm done. It sucks. And I'm really sorry for everyone involved in this. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want you to have to keep... You might not even be there anymore if you worked on this game. Probably like just management. Management are fine. It's usually the way. Oh, don't get political. Do! Give a shit about your surroundings. Give a shit about your fellow people. Come on.